Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of my F1 2018 career mode. Today we are here for the Japanese Grand Prix. Now we're straight away into practice today because I actually had a blue screen of death. I do apologise, and we can't see any of the upgrades or things that happened on the laptop beforehand. I can tell you though, luckily nothing pretty much happened for this race, just a few changes in the progression chart. Other than that, nothing's really happened, so we got off quite lightly there. But first of all, guys, if you did miss the last video I did, it was a special video, something different, and it was my return to league racing. There'll be a card in the top right hand corner if you guys to go check it out. Basically, I want to say a massive thank you first of all, guys, for the response in that video. You guys are loving the fact that I'm going back to league racing this year. They've really done really well, and I can't thank you guys enough for the support. So I cannot wait. AOR is going to be tremendously exciting. The teams and also the placements are getting announced today. They still haven't been announced as I speak in this video, but maybe later on this evening they'll get confirmed. But overall, massive thank you guys for the support. In terms of career mode, if you did miss the last episode, then do check the playlist link down below in the description. Also, there'll be another card on screen for the last episode, and also a link in the description down below to get up to speed as to what happened and how we've got to this point. Now today, we're here for the Japanese Grand Prix at the phenomenal Suzuka circuit, one of my favourites in the calendar, and one track that I always want to try and perform well at and have a good and entertaining race weekend. And lately we've been on an incredible streak of incredible results, and also the races have been crazy. Like the last 4 races have been the best races I've had on this year's game, and some of them have been the best ever. Monza and Singapore were like 2 of the best career mode races I've ever had, period. So this career mode is really coming along at the moment, and I'm really enjoying it. So we arrived here at Suzuka, good momentum, and practice, as you saw before, went pretty well. Car felt good, and we delve into qualifying, and straight away in Q1 we go for the super soft compound tyres, the fastest tyres available, and we get ourselves straight into the top 10. And that lap is a pretty good lap actually, and gets us straight into Q2, into the second half of qualifying. We finish in P10 just behind Pierre Gasly come the end of the session. However, going to Q2, we do have a little bit of a sensor issue with the car, and we're going to have to basically wait in the garage for a couple of minutes, and that's going to delay our running time. And luckily, it wasn't that bad. We still had enough time to get 2 runs in. My first one, as per usual, on the slower soft compound tyre to see if we had any sort of pace. And to be fair, the tyre was working okay, but we just didn't have that speed. And ultimately we only got P14 ahead of Alonso, so I had to go back out on a fresh set of super softs, and we've got to run on board for a full lap of the Suzuka circuit. Straight away, turns 1 and 2, really attack the first corner, keep it nice and tight, open it up right at the end to really open up your turn 2, and in turn 2 really use a curve on the exit on the left hand side as we now go into the S's 3, 4, 5 and 6. Really, it's just about momentum here and really carrying the speed, and also it's just about letting the car flow, do its thing. Now up through the Dunlop curve, critical, you do not touch the inside curb there, otherwise you're going to go for a spin. It's something I did quite a lot in practice. Then through the Degners, 1 and 2, number 1 absolutely perfect, number 2 as well absolutely perfect. A little bit of a tank slap on the exit though, a little bit of a sleepy rear end, but we get under control as we go into the hairpin. Braking late, no real reference point here because there's no brake meter board, so you pretty much have to brake on feel/instinct. And we do a pretty good job there. Currently almost 3/4, almost a full second up on our previous attempts. We now go up the hill into Spoon Corner, breaking out a 50-meter board down 6th gear. I missed my apex slightly, but luckily not too off-putting as we got the power really early here out of Spoon, down the hill. And so far it's a really good lap, very little mistakes so far, and it's going to be a pretty competitive lap time as we now go across sector 2, only a 10th or so down on my screen from what I can tell from the leaders. So we're running at a good pace here as we now brake late for the final sector, 100-meter board break just before it, down to 3rd gear, really attack the curbs here, a lot of time to gain, and then have a lot of patience on the throttle. There's a massive bump which can obstruct the traction you get, but luckily we do get a good exit and we go across the line 1.1 faster, and we jump into the P9 and we get ourselves into the final part of qualifying. So a great session, and the car was working absolutely beautifully at this point. I was very confident that I could find more pace. It's extremely close. Ricciardo was a shock elimination. He tried to get through on softs, didn't work out. And also Hulkenberg sneaks through, but realistically it's a top 9 battle, even though myself and Pierre are a little bit off the pace compared to the big boys. So it's going to take a mega effort to try and get anything else other than realistically P8 in this session. And in Q3 on our first run, we do get an invalidated lap, running wide at Degner 1. So we're going to run on board for my best lap of Q3, and can we pull anything special out of the bag? Straight away, turn 1 yet again, we're going to carry the speed through, open it up right at the end. This time a little bit tighter than Q2, keeping a much more narrow line, and to be fair, it's very nicely done, very nicely executed as we now go into the S's, trying to stay off that first curb because the first one on the left does spin you off, carrying the speed through, and then basically keeping it as tight as we can through this right to open up the next left, up the hill, flat out, avoid the curb on the inside once again, and going through the gears here, up the hill as we look for the turning point into the Degno just before the 50. Really attack the curbing yet again here. This is a track where you need to really lean on the curbs to gain maximum lap time, although there are some curbs that will kill you, so you have to be very careful. As we brake late for the hairpin, no locking up, absolutely perfect. Get the car rotated in second gear on the power early on, not much wheel spin, absolutely perfect. As we now go flat on the power through this curved back straight, once again looking for the 50-meter board for the brake zone into spoon, and then turn the car in sixth gear this time, a little bit closer to the apex, really attacking the second apex this time around. They're using fourth gear to get the car rotated on the power early on through the gears, and now we wait pretty much for around 10 seconds before the brake point into the Casio triangle, flat out through 130R. Only 3/10 down here, so we're going really well at the moment. It's a great lap so far. No mistakes have been made as we brake as late as we dare for the chicane, really attacking the inside curb there without hitting the bollards on the power early on, really keeping a nice tight line this time, and it was a really good lap, keeping a tight line to the finish line this time round, and it's a phenomenal lap, my best lap of the weekend, and we go P5, an incredible qualifying session, and the first time we've actually managed to get ourselves in amongst the Ferraris, Mercedes and Force Indias, which is a rare thing for me, and we get third row on the grid and actually beating Perez in the process. So that's a phenomenal qualifying, and we convincingly beat Gasly as well, so really good session. I cannot complain. Hopefully we can try and do one step further tomorrow in the race and try and see if we can try and get a podium, because it's definitely what I want. So without further ado, let's jump into it here for the Japanese Grand Prix.
And a very warm welcome to the Japanese Grand Prix, an event that has decided a Drivers' Championship 11 times over the years and has hosted some very memorable races as well. Who can forget Kimi Raikkonen's win from 17th on the grid in 2005, or Kamui Kobayashi's incredible drive to a podium in 2012. We're almost ready to go then, and this is what the starting grid looks like for today's race. Sebastian Vettel has a clear track ahead of him today. He starts in pole position, and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Raikkonen, Ocon, Martinez and Verstappen, Perez, Gasly, Bottas and Nico Hülkenberg, Grosjean, Ricciardo, Carlos Sainz and Alonso, Leclerc, Stroll, Marcus Ericsson and Kevin Magnussen. They've taken a grid penalty. Sirotkin and Stoffel van Dorn completes the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track.
Right then, here we are on the grid for the Japanese Grand Prix P5, and we lead the third row on the grid. Fantastic qualifying in Saturday, and the car felt absolutely phenomenal. I cannot complain. One of the better qualifyings we've had this season. Normally when it comes to Q3, we always tend to just lose a bit in performance in Q3. We can't really match the likes of the Ferraris, the Force Indias, and even the Red Bulls and the Mercedes at most tracks, yeah, especially the Mercedes. They're almost there in that top category. Sometimes we've managed to beat the Red Bulls, but normally it's P8, P9, P10, at best P7, you know. But this time we got P5, really good lap in Q3, absolutely fantastic, one of the better ones of the season. And with that, we're going to start on the third row. In terms of the strategy today, as you can see, we have a two-stop race predicted with supers onto softs and then onto another set of softs, avoiding the mediums in their entirety. An extra stop this race is very slow, so we're going to go for the two-stopper. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a good race. I always love Japan. It's a great circuit. Fuel-wise, we are half a lap over. I'm going to increase that to just a full lap, have a little bit more extra fuel to attack with. But all in all, I'm looking forward to it. I definitely think a podium is possible today, based off of strategy, and also I think we have pace. I really do, because our race pace has always been better than our qualifying pace. So it's all about also keeping the tyres in the window, not overheating the fronts around here, and if we do that, we'll have a good race. So with that being said, let's jump into it here for the Japanese Grand Prix. Let's go. Right then, here we go. Getting ready for the 5 red lights here at Suzuka for the Japanese Grand Prix. Lights out and away we go. Fantastic start off of the line. Second phase we lose a bit. I'm going to cover off the inside line. A bit of dust being kicked up there by Ocon. But it's a good start. We hold on to our P5 and stay ahead of Sergio Perez behind Ocon. So we're kind of in a full India sandwich right now. But the main thing was that launch. We reacted to the lights very quickly. Let the revs drop down, got that perfect traction, and that allowed us to really get a good launch. All over the back of Ocon here, through the S's early on. Let's try and keep pace. The four-cylinders are going to be extremely fast on the straight, so keeping them behind is going to be a challenge, so it's critical They would get all the good exits, and, you know, in being very good in the traction areas. Speaking of which, very good exit out of Degner 2 there, up the inside of Ocon. First time of asking at the hairpin. Let's get that move done. Ocon is not really as fast as Perez in this game, so Ocon might drop back, whereas Perez would definitely stay on my tail. So that's a good move. We're going to keep it in hot lap ERS for now, using some rich mix on the straights to try and edge ahead. But Vettel leads. Hamilton P2, Raikkonen P3. It's been a poor exit. Well, not poor exit, it's a poor mid-corner through Spoon from me there. So we might be on the back foot. Here comes Ocon. He's pulling to the inside. I'm running maximum engine modes here. 130R side by side for the first time this race. We got a bit wide, but we hold on to it. Oof, that was close. Take a breath through the chicane. On the power early on, and that is the end of lap 1. Let's get a move on here. Let's try and break Ocon if we can. Looks like we've got a bit of a gap at the moment. He's gaining on me, but not enough, so we're going to survive this straight. So let's focus now on this lap. We're going to have some pretty clean air. Raikkonen's in front, but he's pulling away a little bit already. And let's try and get the pace up and try and break these four cylinders if we can. Okay, the four cylinders are now battling. They're going to go side by side through 130R, so that's my chance to break away. We're keeping up with the front three as well, which is good. We're keeping pace with Raikkonen for now. Who knows, they might drop the sandbags and drop the anchors soon enough and pick up the pace. Raikkonen fastest that time around though. We've got a gap over a second to Perez, which is good news. So let's try and stay ahead. Perez is going to be in a battle with Ocon because of the DRS, so this is allowing us to really pull away here. So this is critical for us to have a good race by running in clean air and uninterrupted pace. Another personal best, literally 2 thousandths faster, but we're keeping the front three in sight. We're just outside of a second unfortunately. Either way, the four cylinders are still battling, so we're getting a massive gap now, nearly 5 seconds. So we can try and save some ERS if we can, and really start to, you know, tactically play out this race and see if we can do anything to try and beat the front three. I can feel my rear end sliding though. That means the rears could be getting a bit hot, so I've got to be careful. Just dropped off the pace a bit that lap, had to watch my rear tyres, and as a result we've lost time. Raikkonen's now going for the move on Hamilton, and as Vettel starts to get the hammer down. But we're still okay. That gap that we've got to the four cylinders is critical, and we need to try and maintain it for the pit stop phase. But right now we're looking very good here. It's all about maintaining the tyres. Yellow flag behind. Something's happened. Nothing seems to have happened with that yellow flag, so no retirement. However, I can see on the mini-map Perez is by himself. There's no more Ocon to be seen. I don't know where he's gone. So maybe something happened. There he is. He's going to the hairpin now. So either he's coming for an early stop, or Ocon and Perez might have had contact. Right, we're going to come in this lap. Hamilton and Raikkonen are battling. My tyres are hot, so I can't really push. And also the pit lane is going to be empty. So we're going to come in for an early stop. And hopefully, maybe undercut Raikkonen and Hamilton who are battling. We're going to get a free pit lane. So that's going to really help us out. And I think this could be a genius play. I was meant to pit lap 6. So I'm only in a lap earlier. So this might work out. Even if I was in lap 7, I don't mind. I'll just have to extend both of these stints by 1 lap.
Pierre is in for his stop,
which is quite surprising. It's an early start, but we're going to be in clean air as well, so we'll get to push as well. It's just critical that we get these tyres up to temperature early on. If we do, we'll have good pace. So let's crack on with it here, and let's try and make this undercut happen. It's a purple middle sector, pushing hard here on this outlap. First sector was a bit of a struggle. Let's see, are the big boys even going to come in this lap? I guess we'll find out very shortly. Out the final corner, on the power early on. Rich mix on the home straight. There's a Red Bull there in Verstappen, but that's not the man we're racing. Yellow flag at the turn 1. Something's happened with McLaren. It's Alonso. He's got going again, so there might have been some contact maybe with the spin either way. Let's keep going. There's a Ferrari in front, so we can use it as a reference point. Now, this is the important lap. My tyre's up to temperature. This could be the one that makes a difference. Right then, we're catching up to Alonso. Obviously went for that spin. He is on soft tyres, so he's going to go quite deep into this stint. So we need to get the job done here if we can. Overtake and rich mix engaged. Purple middle sector again. We're going to get the run through 130R. Go to the left. Do we have enough on the brakes around the outside? It's going to compromise my lap time a little bit, but we are going to get the job done. Did I get any DRS? No, I did not, but it doesn't matter too much. Cars in the pit lane. Personal best. There's Raikkonen right there, so we've not been able to undercut him, which is unfortunate. So we're behind him, but you never know. We could still get Lewis. Let's keep our head down. Okay, now we've got a few more cars in the pit lane here, including Sergio Perez. As you can see, he's gone for the medium, so Perez is going for the one stop. Interesting strategy here. And we've got Kimi in front, who's on super, so he's going to go for a super soft. So lot of strategies. Ocon's behind. He's on a 3-stop, so I think Ocon might have gone for an early stop and go for the 3-stopper. So we've got 1-stoppers, 2-stoppers, 3-stoppers, and even those 2-stoppers vary. So a very strategic race, this one. I'm liking the way this is going so far. I'm not sure where I stand in the shuffle, but I like the unpredictability of it. Kimi goes for the move on Van Dorn. He's going to try and go around the outside of Spoon. Not quite. He gets it done just before the corner. We're now behind Stoffel here. Raikkonen overtaking these guys has given me a chance to make some moves. Do we have enough on the straight here to get past Stoffel into the brake zone? Let's find out. He's got a toe off of Kimi, and to be fair, he's actually keeping a good gap. He must be running at maximum engine mode. So we're going to knock down the engine power here. Kimi goes for a move on Ericsson. There's a bit of a train of cars in front of us here, so it's all kicking off. Van Dorn gets a poor exit out the final corner. I don't get the best traction, but we are close. Van Dorn's got DRS on Ericsson, and Ericsson's got DRS on Raikkonen, so we're not really going to get much out of this, unfortunately. So I've just got to sit back for now, and we're going to have to be patient. The S's are not really an overtaking opportunity, so I need to make them an opportunity to overtake. So here we go. Look at that, carrying the speed up the inside of Stoffel there. I knew he was slow. Ericsson through here is going to be slow. Into hot lap. Do we have enough in the tank? Overtake. Not quite. We have to just sit back. Almost lost my front wing. Ericsson braking extremely early into the hairpin. Here's our chance. Up the inside. It's late in the day, but we make it. Squeeze him on the exit. Job done. Up at the P9. Now Kimi's on the back of Leclerc. And Ericsson isn't done with me just yet. He's going to try and hunt me down here with that straight line speed of his. But I just managed to hold on into Spoon. Important that I get a good exit out of here to really stay in front of Ericsson if possible, as we get a warning for exceeding track limits. Right, that should be okay to stay in front of Ericsson now, so let's focus on Leclerc. It's these kind of races where Perez's 1-stop works out beautifully in the mediums because of the traffic. There's Hamilton leaving the pit lane now. Here comes Ericsson. He's going for the move into turn 1. He's going to go for the outside. No way through there, I'm afraid. And we hold on the inside, and we're in P8 now, and Hamilton's behind us, so that's good news. Let's keep going though. Lewis is going to be on the 1-stop. I didn't really notice what tyre he's on, but it makes sense to be on the 1-stop, so he's going to be on the back foot. Leclerc going very slowly through the S's, so he's going to be extremely vulnerable in that Sauber car. So much traffic to get through. I can see Williams there holding up Sebastian and Haas and Kimi as well. Getting very close to Leclerc, who's really struggling on them soft tyres. We're going to get the exit. I'm going to sit back and go for it under brakes. Pretty simple move. A little bit of a lock up on the left front, but we get the move done. And we're past Leclerc into P7. Now let's try and race away if we can. Use this clean air momentarily. We have Perez in this train. We have Hamilton. They're both at the back of the train though, so that might compromise them slightly on strategy. So now it's critical that we keep pushing on and basically leave no stone unturned when it comes to overall race pace. I'm worried about my tyre temperatures again though. I'm on the limit. I'm on 102 on the bottom left and 101 on the bottom right. 103 is when the temperatures start to go through the roof, so we have to be careful. Right, then we've got a Williams here holding up Magnus, and Stroll holding up K-Mag. I say holding up, I mean I think it's for position, and Raikkonen's right behind and he cannot get past at the moment. We all know how fast that Williams is. Yellow flag behind at the hairpin. Something's happened and someone's had an incident on the way. Let's keep on going here. Into Spoon. Stroll and Magnussen go for a bit of a scrap. We're going to take the wide line through Spoon. Get a bit loose on the rear end. That's going to compromise my exit, and also it's going to increase my tyre wear. Verstappen out of the race again. Red Bull retires from the race. Meanwhile, in front of us, 2 wide. Kimi trying to make it 3. No way through. There's been contact, and we're going to get the mammoth run on Raikkonen. Around the outside, under braking, we lock up a bit. We get the move done. Raikkonen's still hanging it in there. We're going to get the traction down though. Stroll comes in. K-Mag stays out. Onto the home stretch now. Onto lap 13. Magnussen has no DRS. We do. We're getting the mega toe. Raikkonen's lurking behind. He's looking for the triple. We're going to go up the inside of turn 1 though on K-Mag. And we get the move done for second place. That was intense, but we got it done. And Magnussen has actually stayed behind me, so Kimi has to try and get past K-Mag now. This is my chance to try and pull away from the Ferrari man, if I have any tyres left. Let's get head down here and push on with this. 2 more laps till our pit window. Lap 15 we're coming in. Vettel in the pit lane. We're going to take the lead of the race momentarily here. Vettel goes onto softs, as expected. You never know, he could feed into traffic, but we're in the lead of the race now, so These laps are critical. I'm going to try and get to lap 16. 16 is where I want, not 15. That's my mistake. We need to get to lap 16 to make this soft tire strategy work. So, still got 3 whole laps left in these tyres. They're not overheating just yet, but if I start pushing the limits, they might do. Hamilton's looking poised in P3 on the mediums to really do well here. Perez is not too far behind him. Let's see how this goes. These laps are critical now. I'm guessing Kimi will come in now. Yes, he does. He's into the pit lane. So we are now standalone leaders here, unchallenged. Hamilton will take second. Perez, I think, will take third. Yep. And those two are going to start battling on that medium tyre. And they are right now as Perez takes Hamilton for second place. At the moment in this race, there's battles everywhere. So the longer we stay out of them, the better we're going to be. You can see Perez, Hamilton, Ocon, a Red Bull and Bottas are in a mighty 5-car scrap for second place. So the longer we avoid that, the better. We're coming in this lap now, lap 16. So one more lap on these tyres to make it count and get the gap out if we can. Right into the chicane, really attacking it now, whatever we have left on the tyres. It's been a strong stint, this one. A very good in-lap as well. We're now gone to another set of softs, and I'm curious to see how this final stint pays off. Perez starting to get a bit of a gap to him and Hamilton now, it seems, getting the hammer down in the Force India. We get into our pit box here. Nice quick stop from the boys, 2.4. There we go. Vettel's on his way. Not too far behind him is Roman Grosjean. We've got Gasly in the pit lane.
He's in the pits.
That's Hulkenberg. If we can get behind Hulkenberg, that'd be great. Here comes Kimi. Are we ahead of Kimi? It's going to be close. I think we are, though. Yes, we are. We're ahead of Raikkonen in the Ferrari. Great stuff. We've managed to get ahead of one of the red cars. We're P8, though. So we're still a long way away from any decent points. So we need to get a head down now and get past these wild cards in the form of Hulkenberg and Grosjean at least, and then try and charge after Sebastian, who we probably won't catch, but if we can match his pace, we'll catch up to the leaders who are on mediums. That's where we want to be. We've still got a long way to go in this race, so you never know, anything could still happen. Alright then, here comes Kimi. We're going to have to yield this one maybe. We're going to cover the inside, force Kimi out wide. Maybe we can hold on into turn 1. Kimi goes for the outside, doesn't quite work out, and into turn 2 we remain on top and we stay ahead. Okay, I've not got within Hulkenberg's DRS, which is quite surprising. Personal best, but I'm going to be on the back foot here. Kimi comes again, we're going to cover the inside. Raikkonen's very much alongside me this time, and he gets the move done quite convincingly this time round. We have to yield the position. Hopefully I can come back at him when he tries to tackle Hulkenberg. Oh, then into Spoon, this could be our chance. On the power as early as possible. Raikkonen is in the slipstream of Hulkenberg. That Ferrari has got incredible acceleration. He goes to the outside, gets it done before 130R, not quite. Hulkenberg on the back foot. We're kind of in a tricky situation. Hulkenberg back up the inside of Kimi. It's a late braking lunge from the Renault man. Oh, back end slipping out there. Big moment. Hulkenberg going for the re-overtake on Raikkonen here? Surely not. Yes, he is. He's gone for it. He's committed to it. Into turn 1. I just can't go anywhere. I can't commit to any moves just yet. However, I noticed it last lap when Kimi passed me. He's also not spectacular through here. So, here we go. We're going to go for it. Around the outside. Oh, no. No room there. Kimi's just completely put me on the grass. And we now have grass on our tyres. Not ideal. Okay, we'll try again. Getting the exit out of Spoon. Raikkonen isn't as close this time to Hulkenberg. I don't know if he's even going to go for the move. 130R flat out. Kimi's close, but I don't think he's going to commit to anything. He's going to wait for the home straight. Much more intelligent from the Iceman. He will now have DRS, as will we, but we are further back. Hulkenberg comes in. Raikkonen on the back foot. They're getting a poor exit, but we're nowhere near close enough to attack a Ferrari in a straight line. I could tell you that for free. And we're going to have to just settle behind Kimi now. I'm at the P8. Making an effortless move on Hulkenberg, but Raikkonen is the man that's got us. Let's try and stick with him if we can, and maybe come back at him later on. You never know. The battle for the lead is getting fierce, though. I can see on the minimap we are getting so close every lap, and they are really losing hand over fist when it comes to time here. This isn't over just yet. Me and Raikkonen, though, have to just run at our best pace. So I'm going to not battle Kimi, even though I'm not sure I've got the pace. If I get a chance to pass him, I'm only going to do it if it means we lose no time, because we need to catch this lead group if we want to have a really good result today. Right then, 1/10 off my personal best, not bad. Look at the lead pack, they're still scrapping away. So Red Bull now in the lead into turn 1. They really are losing a hell of a lot of time, and we could be on the back of them. I'd even say as early as by the end of this lap if they keep scrapping at this rate. Whoever that Red Bull is, he's managed to bolt. I don't know, I'm guessing it's Ricciardo because Verstappen's out, so it's Ricciardo. He's managed to bolt away and break the gap and get the breakaway. I think Perez might have a car issue, or maybe some front wing damage, because he's really holding up this pack, but I'm guessing his straight line speed is so extreme, it's keeping him ahead. Okay, it's absolutely all kicking off here. Perez has lost the position now to Sebastian Vettel. Somehow I don't have DRS, I must have been that far behind into the brake zone. Either way, Perez is going to try and come back to Sebastian here. And he is going to go for it into turn 1. He doesn't quite make it stick. And Vettel is the next car to break away. Perez definitely has front wing damage. He must have sustained that from the battling. And look how slow everyone's going here. Now this is our chance through the S's. This time Raikkonen's not going to hold me up. We go clean around the outside of Magnussen as well. We just hit the back of Bottas. Luckily avoid front wing damage. But that's a double overtake to kick things off. This time no one's pinching me into the apex. And the hairpin is going to be extremely tempting this time to try and make a move. We have to get on the brake so early here. Set up the car for the exit. Hot lap ERS, here we go. Stay nice in close proximity. Up the inside of Valtteri Bottas, to be fair, they broke a lot later than I expected, but we still managed to get on the inside of Valtteri. We're going to squeeze him on the exit. Use up our ERS and extra fuel to try and stay ahead. Hamilton's looking all over the back of Perez for a move this time round. Perez goes defensive into Spoon. Hamilton on the brakes. We have to get on the brakes, as Hamilton does. Into Spoon. Bottas slipped on the inside. My fault, probably. I turned in him a bit too early there. He just tactically slipped up the inside. Now Grosjean is coming back at me. I'm using maximum engine modes here to stay ahead. Into 130 side by side with Grosjean this late in the race. Yellow flag. Contact. Grosjean's gone for a spin. In my opinion, that was fair game. I left my car on the outside. Left him plenty of room. I went as wide as you could possibly go on the circuit. We lose the back end on exit here. Bottas lining up a move on Perez. We're losing our chance here to make up massive positions. Perez has DRS on Hamilton. Doesn't quite make the move stick. We got the inside of Bottas into turn 2. More contact. More contact on the exit as Bottas can't seem to straighten up the car. Maybe a rash move for me. But yet again, I was on the inside. I was well alongside and I've just got to turn in on. Which in my opinion is a bit unfair, but then again I went for the move aggressively. I give him the benefit of the doubt. Tyres are really going to start cooking though in these conditions, and Ocon's behind me somehow. Don't sleep on Ocon, he's still there. Right, hairpin time. This one's got to count. This one's massive. We're really close this time. Up the inside of Bottas. This time we go a little bit deeper into the corner. He's still staying there on the exit, but we've just edged in front. I need that toe from Perez. I need the toe as much as I can. We need to get it done this time. No excuses. Perez is slow into Spoon. Very slow. I'm going to open up the corner. Get the exit right. Pick up a slipstream on Sergio. Here we go. Put into the inside. This time we've got the benefit. Oh my god. Ocon's on the inside. Oh my god. We've got a penalty for corner cutting. I had to do something. Ocon got the momentum. He went up the inside right at the last minute. A 3-second time penalty though. Perez is still holding up those people behind, but we need to pull away now. We need to get a 3-second gap in the remaining 3 laps of this race. Pressure's on. Ocon's all over the back of me. His straight line speed is ridiculous. It's going to be hard to keep this guy behind, and considering the penalty, I might not fight it that hard. Out the final corner on the power. We've had a good exit, and we've got a 3-second gap now to the guys behind, but Ocon's the fastest man around the circuit, man. He's flying. I'm not even going to fight. Let him go. I've got the penalty. I need to focus on holding P5. If I can finish here, I'll be happy, because that would still be where we started the race. Raikkonen's now got past Perez, so it's even more important now that we maximise these last 2 laps. Ocon's really going fast, but I tried my best and I managed to stay within DRS. So that's good news for us. Last lap of the Grand Prix. Gap to Kimi is around 5.5. There it is, 5.3. So we're doing okay at the moment. Just no mistakes in this last lap. And let's bring it home. Here we go then, through 130R for the final time. I'm burning up all my ERS. Ricciardo wins the race. Massive shock here at Japan. Ricciardo's first win of the season. And I even say his first one in this entire career mode. Either way, Ricciardo wins it. First win of the season for the Red Bull team. We come through for P5. What an incredible race that was. Crazy stuff. Let me know what you thought in the comments, guys, with the incidents. But I thought personally, it's racing and it's intense. Right, so looking at the final race results, Ricciardo wins the Japanese Grand Prix ahead of Sebastian Vettel. Lewis Hamilton running off the podium. Ocon P4. We come home 5th with a penalty. Raikkonen 6th ahead of Bottas, with Pierre Gasly 8th and actually getting past Perez at the end there. And Magnussen running out the final point. Lance Stroll just misses out in the Williams, and further down the order, Grosjean P17 after that contact with me at 130R. Sorokin with also a penalty, and Verstappen retiring from the race. In terms of the standings though, we jump into 2nd place, getting past Perez. Vettel though, still ominous as ever, 20 points lead, and the races are starting to run out now in the championship, and he's doing a really good job of keeping ahead. In terms of the constructors though, you can see Ferrari still lead the way. Force India lose some points to the red cars this race, and we are still very comfortably the 3rd best team ahead of Red Bull now, who have overtaken Mercedes. All in all, an incredible Japanese Grand Prix here today, guys. And if you enjoyed it, drop a like. But we're now going to move into the laptop. Right then, so we have 1,000 points to burn, not a major amount. So we've got to try and spend these wisely. So I think we're going to go on the chassis side of things, and it's time for something to do with the weight. Now, if I look at them, we only have major upgrades available, and I can't afford those at the moment. So never mind, we're going to have to scratch that, I think. Yeah, we're going to have to scratch that and go somewhere else, go elsewhere. Do we go for engine power? We've got Kota left, we've got Mexico left. I think we'll have to go engine power, to be honest. Or something like fuel consumption, maybe. Let's go engine power. Let's try and get a bit more horsepower out of this car. So we're going to get an all combustion one on the car, and hopefully that will work out, and that will arrive in the next race at Kota, along with a major aero upgrade, and that should really give us a push forward in terms of competing with the big boys here. But all in all, guys, a great episode here at Japan. I was going to say Kota there for a second. If you did enjoy it, drop a like on the video. Also, do get subscribed for daily Formula 1 content. Turn on notifications, guys, to not miss a single video from me. And finally, check out these 2 videos on screen if you have missed them. But other than that, thank you for watching. This is the next episode very soon. Goodbye.